In the year 2000, shortly after the release of Superstarlet AD, I sat down to interview Mike McCarthy for the Indie Memphis Film Festival. The goal was to get some sense of where his movies came from, to understand the process.
The best rock and roll, I don't think, has an intellectual precept. The best movies don't have anything going for them other than sheer entertainment value. But when you got old movies with sheer entertainment value, you also got an intellectual film more often than not out of it. And now those two things are very much divided in Hollywood.
In that interview, McCarthy explained as clearly as he ever has the ideas that have informed his work, from the ultra-low-budget Damn's Elvis to Cigarette Girl, his most recent and most mature film to date.
Well, the whole idea behind everything I do, I suppose, is duality. You've got sex and violence, or you have, punk versus hippie, you have Lennon versus Presley, and all the cataclysmic pop culture ideals that come down the pike with that, or already went down the pike and people have forgotten about them.
This duality is probably best expressed by an Elvis-inspired graph created for a Nudie Cutie booklet and tucked into record sleeves for the Teenage Tupelo soundtrack. Apollo, Dionysus, Good, Evil, Garin, Aaron, Country, City, Rich, Poor, Saint, and Sinner. A similar chart created for Cigarette Girl might easily read Life, Death, Breath, Smoke, Hero, Villain, Freedom, Fascism, Suburb, and Ghetto. Cigarette Girl follows in the morally ambiguous footsteps of Batman, the Punisher, and other vigilante-style superheroes. It's both an effective 90-minute anti-smoking ad and a cautionary tale about the creation of second-class citizens, in this case, smokers.
All I know is that my grandmother raised me, and I've been hooked ever since. Whenever I had an urge, she let me smoke one of her cigarettes. Yesterday, my grandmother quit the hard way. Cold turkey. The same way everyone quits me.
At first glance, Cigarette Girl, with its billowing lace curtains and string-heavy soundtrack, seems like a departure from McCarthy, the comic book and trash rock-obsessed auteur whose previous efforts have looked and sounded more like this. But after reviewing all the previous films and promotional materials, and listening again to the way he described his work nearly a decade ago, it would appear that Mike McCarthy has finally hit a target he's been aiming at since the very beginning of his career.
Memphis, I think, is a place where you can, last year in particular, you can go to Europe, you can be invited to film festivals, show your stuff, then you can come back and wash dishes at Hatley's.